Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Talking Rangers podcast. This is episode 14. Today is Friday, January 5th, although by the time many of you are watching this, it'll probably be Saturday, January 6th. Joe, how's it going, man?
It's going good, Got through another week. So thank God it's Friday, but
Yeah.
yeah, it's been good. How about yourself? How's it going?
Yeah, doing good. Rangers were able to get a nice win last night to close out their quick 2-game homestand before they head on the road for one against Montreal, but was a nice win last night for them as they bounce back after a really bad loss to start the new year against Carolina. But it's nice that it's Friday. We got a game tomorrow on Saturday, and then obviously another game on Monday before a couple days off before next Thursday. So we've got a lot to get into today on the podcast. I wanted to start though before we get into the actual Rangers and their wins and some of their top performers and some news surrounding Capo Caco and him practicing and all that good stuff. The World Juniors finish up today as the USA took down Sweden to win it all. Just wanted to get your thoughts because obviously the Rangers had two prospects, one of them being Gabe Perreault, who was really good in the 7 games played. He had 3 goals, 7 assists, 10 points, made a lot of big plays, got the scoring started today in the championship game against Sweden. So just overall, like, what were your thoughts on this tournament as a whole? And then Gabe Perreault specifically, obviously, with one of the Rangers' top prospects.
Yeah, I mean, it was nice to see the United States win. I mean,
Yep.
not
And
many
Canada
times I
get
feel like
eliminated.
they haven't really won many. I feel like in the existence of like the tournament, I think they said like 2004 was the first time they
Yeah.
won. I feel like here and there they have some good teams. Sometimes, obviously, best teams don't win, but it's nice to see that our country brought
Yeah.
home gold. And then as far as Perot, I mean, dude, that kid's a stud. He's gonna
Yeah.
be so good. Like, I don't know how much you've really seen of his game, but like he's got like game like if you pinpoint certain stuff in his game of like players on the Rangers, like he goes to the net, like kind of like Kreider. He's got really good
Yeah.
hockey IQ and good hand eye in front of the net, and then he's just like an insanely good passer. It kind of reminds me a little bit like Panarin. He's not the greatest skater,
Yeah.
like I don't think he's going to be like McDavid,
No.
but he just seems like a really smart player, like a guy you definitely want on your team, like a power play guy, can move the puck, can get into like the perfect like spot when he needs to in the offensive zone. And I also think he's kind of like he's got some grit to him. He's not a big dude, but he's definitely got some grit to him.
Yeah, definitely got some physicality. So, like, what do you think? Like the smarts of like Fox in a way, a little bit, like
He's a
the
smart
hockey
guy.
IQ.
Yeah, maybe
Yeah,
like Panarin.
and
Yeah,
then Panarin, Fox, and then kind of Kreider with the tip. I mean, today the first goal was he was right in front of the net,
yeah, it
which
went
was
to the net.
obviously huge for them. It's an exciting time because you see Othman's debut yesterday, and then you see what Pro's done this entire tournament, and then especially today putting the cherry on top, winning the gold against Sweden. But I think it just shows you as like a Ranger fan, while we are kind of in a win now mode right now, sort of a win now mode, because it's not like we put all of our chips in the middle and we brought in all these big name pieces. It does show you though that there is a lot of young talent on this team. You've got Will Cooley, who's young and up and coming. You've obviously got Brennan Othman, who made his debut last night. We'll get to that here in a little bit, but he looked really promising. You've got Gabe Perreault. You've got guys that obviously you're going to draft here in the upcoming draft. So I think it's just another like a message to the Rangers fans, another sign that while this team is trying to win it right now, and your core of Mika and Kreider and Panarin are, after this year and moving forward, they're only putting more and more years on. Eventually, they're going to lose it at some point, and you want to win now. But you've got a lot of these young guys. Lafreniere has been playing better, so I think it does show you that like the future of this Rangers team is still in good hands. Like, do you feel that same way too? Just seeing these guys play well with the winning right now, it gives you some confidence as well, just for the future of this organization, even when some of these top guys eventually move on.
Yeah, no, I kind of agree because like you see, like again, we're talking about Perot. Like the kid
Yeah,
looks pretty good. They have Adam Sikora, they got a couple dudes still in Hartford who are like look to be like at least like solid NHL players. Like I think the kid that came up maybe it was like a week or two ago at Edstrom, I even thought he was pretty solid. Like
yeah,
I don't I think Perot has a chance to be kind of like a superstar. I'm not gonna say he is, but I think at the very least you see a lot of these young guys can be solid NHL players, which is a big thing because NHL draft nothing's like guaranteed, and again feel like a lot of the fan bases like the Devils fans are kind of knocking us for not really being able to develop players. But I mean, again, not everybody's going to be McDavid. And I think fans got to get that through their mind. Like,
Yeah.
listen, Lafreniere, he's not going to be McDavid. Like, that's just it was never going to be like that. But I think if you can just get young guys to play well and get confidence, and then at least be NHL players where they can fit in
Yep.
with these veterans, and eventually, kind of once they get older, can come in and hopefully take some of those like more responsibilities and bigger roles on the team, like power play and stuff like that. But I'm pretty confident in like Othman and Perot. I think those are two draft picks that I think that they're going to end up being good for the Rangers.
Yeah, no doubt. And then plus two, you just look at defensively like Schneider, Keandre Miller, two guys that are young and have shown a lot of potential and just building blocks for the future for this team, which I think it gets you really excited. But yeah, I mean, not everybody's going to be Connor Bedard in their first year. Not everybody's going to be Crosby or McDavid or Ovechkin or one of the greatest thing ever. Like Lafreniere is not going to live up to that pick label or the pick label, but like he's still a solid player. He's still obviously a top 6 forward for this team, still a really solid contributor. So, I mean, I think even though that pick, I mean, he's definitely worked out more than Kako, but they both contribute in different ways at this point in their career. They've turned, I mean, they're just different players. Like
they're not
they're
going to be
still
like
productive.
super. They're good players. No. Like if you draft a guy in the NHL draft and he is a second first line player,
yeah,
then I think that's a win. I mean, obviously you could say, oh, well, he should be like a superstar, but I feel like it's kind of blown up because it is the Rangers. I feel like if it was another team, like they wouldn't be as in like the attention wouldn't be as much on them as like say if you were on like the Coyotes. And still, again, like Lafreniere, he's not a bust. And I think that people just got to get through their head that listen, yes, he's not a like superstar, but he's still a good player.
Yeah, I think a lot of it too, just with the Devils fan standpoint, is Jack Hughes was taken in front of Capo Caco, and a lot of Rangers fans at the time were saying, "Oh, take Hughes, we'll gladly have Capo Caco," who was obviously, a stud going into the draft, and look, Hughes is a lot better, but Caco does what he needs to do, and so does Lafreniere on a team that is contending for a Stanley Cup. So you'll take it, and when you have guys like Kreider, or Mika, and Panarin, you don't need a number 1 overall pick to transform your organization when you have guys like that who are all playing at a very high level and are all kind of in their, I guess, prime veteran part of their career where they're in that kind of win now mode at this point. So a lot of positives to take from the World Juniors. USA takes home gold, which is good. One more question. I've seen this kind of tweet out a little bit. I know we were talking a little bit before we went on here to record. So next year you have the NHL World event next year, 2025, and you've got the Olympics in 2026. Is this an opportunity here? You feel? I mean, I don't know. Bias, like being a biased, I'll say, yeah, USA here can potentially stack up some more wins. But if there was a moment for maybe USA to potentially surpass Canada or become the big hockey country, is the time now?
I mean, I would say this, at least for like the pro level, like NHL guys. So like, if they have that like World Cup of hockey or whatever, because I mean the Olympics is like 2 years away. So I mean, you can't really.
It's tough to say.
You could figure out some of the roster guys, but it'd be harder to kind of predict. But if you just go off the basis of next year's like tournament, if they have it, I would actually put the Americans over just because like I can't even think of one Canadian goaltender in the NHL. I think Aiden Hill would maybe be their best goalie.
Yeah, from Vegas.
And like to be their defenseman, like outside of like Makar, I mean, I think they have like Morrissey, but like the United States back end blows anything the Canadians have out of the water. Like the Americans are so deep in the defense core and their goaltending. And I think they kind of closed the gap with the offensive guys because obviously we got Eichel, Matthews, Jack Hughes, as much as, not a big Jack Hughes guy, but I mean, the guy, he's for real. So all the Hughes brothers, honestly, so they have that. But yeah, no, I think it'd be tight. But I think the Americans personally, again, I'm not trying to be biased by saying this. Maybe I am, but just because how the back end is built, I think we would have the advantage.
It's a good opportunity.
I love watching the Olympics hockey. Dude, that's like back in like 2000, I think it was 14 was the last time. It's just so sick seeing all like the guys from each country playing together. Kind of sucks. Like the last Olympics, we didn't get to really see that.
No. Yeah, it's going to be exciting. These next couple of years, I mean, this year with the World Juniors, next year and the year after that is big for hockey. I think, too, just from a global standpoint, like attracting more viewers, attracting more fans is huge here because the Olympics, the NHL World Event, all those things are going to be super exciting, especially if you get most of the guys playing in the Olympics. I mean, that's going to be exciting if you get the best of the best. So, like, this is a big opportunity just for hockey in general to grow and expand to different viewers across the globe. So, we'll see how all that plays out, but definitely some good momentum for USA as they take home the gold against Sweden 6-2 this afternoon. So now we move on to the actual current New York Rangers as they came out of the new year. They went into Florida, split against the Panthers and Tampa Bay. I want to just quickly touch upon those two games because they are already a week from now. They already happened. So a week old, a lot has happened since then. So I don't want to spend too much time, but they were on the road, 2 games here. The first game against the Panthers, I didn't think they played that bad. This was just kind of it was a very fun game. I mean, Florida, obviously a team that just went to the Cup last year. They're going to be right back in the conversation again this year. And then they dominated Tampa Bay. What were your thoughts on these 2 games? I didn't think they played that bad against the Panthers. I mean, Quick made that crazy save, which was just unbelievable. One of the greatest saves I've ever seen. What were your takeaways from these 2 games? I'll be honest. I thought they would split. I thought they would beat Florida and lose to Tampa, but they come away with the split either way.
I think we kind of mentioned that in the last podcast where we kind of both kind of thought they would take at least one game. Probably not going to win both, but the first game there was no defense. I just want to say that fun, high octane offensive game, and there's a great game to watch, but there's no defense in that game. A couple questionable calls from the refs. I don't want to be that guy, but I mean, like Schneider is literally just standing there, and I don't know who it was, and the Panthers just like fell when Schneider was standing still, which was stupid. And then the Lafreniere penalty was ridiculous. And then they were going to call that a 5-minute major. That's crazy, especially because he had the puck, which made how could you take a penalty with the puck in possession? Makes no sense. But again, though, they didn't play good defensively, so you lost. But close game, fun to watch. Again, I thought for the game that Quick had, the game, if you look at the stats at the end of the game, you see 4 goals against. I think that didn't tell how well he played. That Scorpion save was unbelievable. I thought he was really good in the game. Zibanejad scored. I said he was going to score, so he didn't get it. He didn't get the 4 goals, but he didn't get the hat trick. But still scored a goal, and I think he had at least a point against the Lightning in the next game. But as far as the Panthers game, high octane game, fun to watch. You're going to lose games. They're not going to go undefeated the rest of the way, but you want to see them play a little bit better defensively.
Yeah, no doubt. And when he scored that goal, I was thinking, here comes Zibanejad. It's going to tear up Florida, but obviously didn't have the 3 goals in Tampa, which we maybe thought would happen. But still, obviously, good 2 games for Mika as he closed out Mika December, where he put together a really good month. But yeah, that's my biggest concern with this team is I think Laviolette said it in the in his post-game press conference. That's not the Rangers type of game where what Florida was playing. They're defensively, they just weren't good. The Rangers are just not that type of team where they're gonna keep it low scoring, rely on their defense, do it just enough offensively. When you have teams going out there putting up 4 goals and playing like they did, high octane, obviously getting a lot of chance in the front of the net where the Rangers left a lot of gaps in front of Quick. That's just not their game. But that's my biggest concern. You look at all the majority of the Rangers losses this year. I know at times Igor, and I know he's, made the All-Star game, has had struggles. I still feel like a lot of these games that they lose, it's all the net front defense. There's way too many just open chances. And that's my biggest concern with this team, going to the postseason, is if you have one of these off nights or 2 of these off nights where you just in the postseason, that's definitely not going to I mean, there's been games where they've been bailed out by Quick and stuff like that. I mean, that one save by Quick, they kind of got bailed out by him. But when their net front defense goes and there's just nobody there and there's open spacing and more room for these guys to make plays, it's just all their losses, it's been mainly because of that. That's just their Achilles heel. And I feel like sometimes they kind of get, I don't know if lazy is the right answer, but it could be maybe a little bit of laziness where they just get lazy in the front of the net and they're able to score. But they were able to bounce back against Tampa, and a really nice bounce back on a second half of back-to-back, which was really good. 5-1 game from the start. You had Panarin with the goal early on. Then you had Trocheck. Panarin ended up having 2 more goals. He had another hat trick, second hat trick of the season. I mean, this guy's been a stud. What are your thoughts on Panarin? He got hit in the face yesterday with a puck, but had another really nice goal yesterday. I mean, he's a beast.
Dude, I'm getting a little concerned. I mean, he's growing out the hair too much. Like, I don't know if you saw it. Like, he's got to shave that off. Like, he's got to keep this going. I think it's the hair. I think the hair is what's getting him to the season. But he's just been a man on a mission, dude. Like, I've never seen him just being so aggressive, like shooting the puck, crashing the net, going into the boards to get the puck, staying away from that East-West hockey, and like I'll give him credit even like on defensively. Like you'll see him back check now, which with Gallant, I can't really recall him back checking. But the way he just fires the puck makes him such a scary player to play against, because I feel like last year was one dimensional where he was just constantly looking for that pass. Now he's shooting, so like the other team, it's hard to defend someone when you don't know what he's gonna do. And I just think that he's gonna break the record. I think if he stays healthy, which I think it's 123, I believe, the Rangers' point record for a season.
Yeah.
I can't see him not doing it. He's just so dynamic, makes everybody around him better. And I think, I'm not saying it was obviously a horrible thing that Hito went down. I mean, he's one of our best players, especially driving the play. But I think him, Trocheck, and Lafreniere have been such a dynamic line and have been playing so well this year. And I think all three of them complement each other so well. And then again, Panarin's just scoring at a crazy rate. That, I mean, he has it in him. It's just that, again, I think the biggest thing, is pride coaching, where you see the difference in this game. I think this coaching staff, I think either it's the system or just how the coach is getting to him better and making him use his like attributes to like the maximum he can play till. Because I think last year maybe Gallant wasn't as hard on him. Maybe Gallant was just like, hey, like do what you do and then just be yourself. Where I think Laviolette's more like do what you got to do, but also try to play and make your teammates better. And that thing is shooting the puck, which I think that's the biggest thing. Just shooting the puck from Panarin is just like such a big thing. And I think he's going to make, I don't know. I don't think he's going to win the
he's got to be in the conversation.
I don't think he is, but I think at the very least
Kucherov or somebody.
He'll make that like first team NHL, I think.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, he's been a beast. He's got to be. I think he'll definitely beat Yager's record. What is I think 124, 123 is it?
It's something around that.
He's got 53, which is tied for second in the NHL. He's tied with McDavid, Pastrnak, and Panarin's obviously tied. Those are the two guys he's tied with. The 37 games in, they're not even halfway through, and he's already more than halfway to 100. They've still got 4 games until they're at game 41, which is the official halfway mark to 82. So there's a good chance, possibly at halfway mark, he's already got 60 through like 41 games possible if he just goes on a tear. Like, he's got to get there.
You think he'll get 50?
50
goals.
It's possible. I think he's one behind Reinhart right now, and he's got 24 because Reinhart's got 25. I think he's looking at it. He's tied for 4th in the NHL right now in goals.
That's crazy, dude. That's insane.
I mean, he's got 24 through 37 games. They've got what 50? No, they've got 44 games left. 45 games left. Yeah, 45 games left. 37. So 45 games left for him to get what? He's got 24 goals in 37 games. 45 games he needs. I'm terrible on math. What is it?
So 16? Like in the next 4 games, he needs 1 goal to be on pace for if he plays all 82 games.
Yeah,
we'll probably score. I think he's going to come close. I think that'd be sick.
Yeah, he definitely is going to beat Yager's record. I think that's kind of certain. But like you talk about the coaching, we've talked about it so much. Just the team as a whole, like the North-South game, the shot first mentality. There's been some times where they've gone back to that East-West style of hockey, and it's where they try to be too fancy and be too cute, and it comes back to hurt them. But these games where they just put their foot on the gas and that shot first mentality, it's all coaching to me. I think too, Panarin, again, I think there's just a lot of more around the locker room as a whole, a lot more accountability with Lavalette. I think Gallant gave guys a lot more, I guess, leeway, a lot longer leash, where he kind of just said, go out there, play their game. There's not really this big system. You don't got to follow anything. Just go out there, play your game, do whatever you do. And I think sometimes the guy's got a little, I don't know, again, maybe lazy isn't the right word, but kind of like that. Because even Panarin, you don't see a lot of these neutral zone turnovers and stuff like that with him anymore. These bad mistakes that he was making, just the mental errors. And then he'd go back and he would kind of be lazy getting back on D on like a 2-on-1. So you don't even see that from him. It's just a completely different player. It's crazy. And I think he went into this year too. Maybe a little bit was he had a lot of pressure on him going into this year because he was very bad in the playoffs. And we talked about that to start the season was what is Panarin going to be this year? You know, is he going to be that guy that, you know, obviously he's getting paid to be, or is he going to be the playoff Panarin? What is he going to be under this new coaching staff? And I mean, he's checked every box. I mean, the guy, he probably won't win it, but he's got to be in the Hart Trophy conversation. What do you think? It's probably him, Kucherov,
Pasternak,
Matthews,
probably Matthews. If Matthews
Pasternak.
scores like 70, he'll
Yeah. Do you
probably
think
win.
McDavid's up there? Feels like McDavid's
Yeah.
had a down year, but
He's like tied
is
with Panarin. It's just
yeah,
crazy. That's like a down year for him.
yeah,
My only thing with Panarin is, can he do it in the playoffs? And if
yeah.
he
That's
does,
the big question.
we got to
He's
wait.
had the one playoff moment against Pittsburgh, and that was about it. You know, Game 7, the goal. But I mean, just some of these shots are beautiful. I mean, last night's shot from the feed from Lafreniere was just a beautiful pass, beautiful finish by Panarin. A lot to like there. And I think it's just benefit from the coaching staff as well. Kind of more accountability. I think he recognized too, hey, I'm not fan base, not turned on him, but he's starting to feel that pressure and he's completely turned it around. So look, the Carolina game was really bad. They lost 6-1. There's not much really you need to take away from that one other than it was ugly. They didn't really seem ready to play. Lack of focus, it seemed. And Carolina just, you know, was red hot. Now you go into last night's game and you've got a lot of excitement going to last night's game for a typical Thursday game in January. There's usually not that much excitement, but going to last night, it was the two young guys, Othman and Bedard. And we could start with Othman, and then we'll get to Bedard and how they handled him because I thought they did a really good job against him last night. Othman was great. Really good performance by him. He easily could have had, maybe I'm crazy, but he easily could have had 2-3 goals. He had a couple really, really good chances that as time goes on, I'm sure he'll eventually finish those. But all in all, he had 5 shots, 3 hits, 12 minutes and 26 seconds time on ice. He was great, really good in his debut. What was your impression from Othman?
Yeah, I mean, again, I feel like a lot of guys, you come out with that kind of extra jump when you make your debut or first game with your fans. But no, I was impressed. I mean, just his willingness to fire the puck, I think is going to be such a big thing for him in his career, especially if he ends up one day maybe playing with, like, say he's Zibanejad and Kreider, where those guys don't really shoot the puck that much. But I just really was impressed how he just got the puck and he ripped it. And he tough kid, goes into the corner, so he battles hard.
Physicality.
Again, not the greatest skater, but just a guy that looks like he's going to work hard. Maybe a little bit like he kind of reminds me a little bit of Cooley, but I think Cooley is he's a better skater, but I think Othman's a little better skill wise, and I think he's got a better shot. And he seems like a smart guy. Like, I don't know if you kind of feel the same way where like he put himself in good scoring positions. Like he was always finding lanes where like he could get a rebound or he was open for a pass. But I thought he seemed like a smart kid, shot the puck a lot.
Yeah.
Probably not going to stay in the team that long, especially with Kako coming back. But I'm excited to see what he can do though.
Yeah, I agree with you with he was finding the open air. He was finding the open areas in the ice. He had opportunities. He was getting chances. Sometimes rookies, like their first game or early on, again, he had that little bit of a jump, and we'll see if he can continue to put these consistent performances and eventually finish some of those shots. But sometimes rookies, when they're out there, they're kind of like nervous. Like he wasn't afraid. Like he got open. He wasn't afraid. He didn't try to. Like he was making an impact. You knew he was out there. You could see him out there on the ice. Like he was making an impact. Yes, no, he didn't have a pointer or whatever, but he didn't disappear. Sometimes you see some of the young guys kind of just disappear. They blend into the game. They're maybe a little hesitant to
kind of deferring,
get a shot on, or
yeah.
what were you saying?
Deferring shots.
Yeah.
Like I feel
Exactly.
like he was going in once he got the puck.
He
Like I was
wanted to
saying, he was
score. Like he
shooting
was
it.
trying.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
some rookies will like get the puck and kind of
Yeah. No.
defer and try to like find like one of their teammates. Where I kind of thought
Mhm.
he just took it into his own hands and was ripping it.
Yeah. I mean, look, I'm not saying the guy's not the next Crosby. I'm not saying that, but he was playing like a veteran. Like he had chances, he took shots, he wasn't scared, he wasn't worried. It didn't seem. I'm sure he had nerves, but he handled them all very well. And it seemed like him and Brzezinski still kind of had that connection because there was a couple passes that they clicked on. It seemed like they had the connection from Hartford still, but yeah, really good performance from him. And it was the battle of the young guys. Bedard obviously didn't have a goal in this one. He only recorded 3 shots, 18 minutes, 54 seconds on ice. I thought Trocheck made a really nice play on Bedard, which
Yeah.
was set up the Panarin goal, which we'll get to Trocheck here in a second. And then Schneider, I thought, made a really nice play on Bedard later in the game. What were your thoughts, just impressions on Bedard in this one? And I thought the Rangers handled him really well. I was definitely impressed. This could have been a game where, first time at the Garden, he could have lit us up, but I thought we handled him really well. And I also think, too, there was probably some learning moments. He sometimes tries to do a little too much, but that's just, he's 18 years old. He's going to have those moments. I mean, that play against Trocheck, he probably should have passed the puck. He tried to do too much there, but I thought the Rangers kept him in check.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. I think he's kind of like at this point, physically, I think he's not there yet. Obviously, he's a
Yeah.
rookie, he's not a big dude, but I think he's kind of like his own worst enemy right now. Where like you said, he's trying to do a little too much.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, he's a phenomenal. Like you can tell right away.
Yes.
Like right away, you can tell. I feel like in hockey, if the guy, like if he's the guy, and he seems like he's gonna be a guy. Like he's gonna
Yeah.
be obviously early, but I can see him being a top 5 player within 1 or 2 years. If he like develops
Definitely.
like strength wise, just like can adjust to like the size and the speed, he'll be easily top 5 player in the league just because he's so dynamic. And I think he just makes the guys around him so much better. Like I
Mm-hmm.
think he's like his hockey IQ is off the like he does everything good. He's
Yeah.
fast. He's a great skater. Great, unbelievable shot. Like he has like that little toe drag and he rips it.
The
I
wrist
thought he was
shot's
gonna score
beautiful.
on that one. I think it was like in the first period where it got deflected. I think it got blocked, and then I think the guy got the rebound. Shesterkin made the save, but
Mm-hmm.
like his
And
release is so lethal.
yeah, and I noticed something too. And look, I don't watch every Blackhawks game. I've seen a couple. Obviously, they've been nationally televised a little bit and seen the highlights. But something I didn't really notice a lot about his game before last night was he's not afraid to get a little physical at times. He's still got to work on that physicality, but he's not afraid to get in front of that. Like he had those 2 chances yesterday. The one almost in front of that, he almost scored, and the other one where he actually tripped over Igor. But he's not afraid to drive and get to the net and try and get a tip in, try and get a quick shot off. Like he's not one of these guys that just stands back and tries to just pump wrist shots in. Like I feel like he's not afraid to get to the net. He's still got to get to that next level in terms of physicality and fully rounding out his game. But did you kind of get the same feeling too? I was surprised to see him. Like there was a couple times where he was in front of the net trying to, get some of those tip-ins,
Yeah, I
trying
mean,
to learn from Kreider, I guess.
it seems like he kind of just has like a nose for the puck. Like he's
Yeah.
always I feel like around the puck. Every time he's on
Mhm.
the ice, he's gonna be by the puck, whether it's on the blue line or in front of the net or in the corner. And I kind of felt bad for him when I mean, luckily for him or for both teams, I guess, like nothing happened when he ran into Igor. But I was like, holy
Yeah.
shit, when he's on top of Igor. But I'm not gonna lie though, I kind of blamed Igor for that. Like he should be sliding out
Yeah.
into the corner.
Yeah.
Igor's
Yeah,
crazy.
I thought they were gonna like shove Berdard and give him
Yeah, I
like
was
the
like kind of
rookie
scared
treatment.
for him. Like I was like,
Yeah,
oh,
I
he
was like,
might get
oh
the crap
god,
beat
because
out of him.
he's not big. He's
Maybe
small.
he's like
He's only
5'10", maybe
5'10".
5'11".
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's. I was a little worried. I was like, oh god, he's gonna get crushed. This is gonna be like the welcome to the NHL moment. But
Luckily, I mean, because I think they kind of knew like he didn't really. It wasn't his fault.
yeah,
Like
no,
so, yeah.
it's just
But
a
I thought
hockey
that was
play.
funny.
Yeah, and in that one play he made, I forget who he stole it from, but it
Oh, I
was
know what you're talking about. He
yeah
like
that
I
one
think it was
play.
Miller
Yeah, he
where he
like
just stripped it from him. Yeah,
took
that
it,
was a really nice
and
play.
that's what you're talking about, like his knack for the puck. Like he's just around the puck a lot. Neutral zone, forced a turnover. I think they got like a 2-on-2. Might have been an odd man rush for a
I
little
think
bit
Igor
back.
made I
Yeah,
think it was
Igor
a
made a really nice
2-on-1.
save.
Pass
Yeah,
it
he
to the
set
guy,
up.
and then yeah,
Yeah,
Igor made a nice save.
made a really nice save. But that's just the knack for the puck he's got. Like he's made a couple of those really nice plays, stealing the puck from guys. It's just um, he's special talent. He's a special player and still got a well-rounded game. But I thought all in all, him and the Rangers, kept him in check. But you definitely see the little things from him that just show you he's going to be stud of an even better player very, very soon. So we talked a little about Trocheck here just a little bit about a couple minutes ago. He's been so good this season. All in all, this year, 9 goals, 27 assists. That's good for 36 points on the year. And on top of that, his faceoffs have obviously continued to be really good. He's got one of the best faceoffs percentages in the NHL. Physical. I think he's another guy that was good last year, but I think even better under this coaching staff this season. What have been your impressions with Trocheck? And again, yesterday, setting up that Panarin goal.
I mean, just a rock, like
Yeah.
just great at everything. Like
Solid.
obviously he's not one of the best players in the league, but I mean,
No.
such a valuable player. Can play gritty, can hit, can pass, has skill, unbelievable face-off guy. I mean, he's just a complete player, and I think huge upgrade from Strome. And it's just you see, I think like you were saying, like he just got, I feel like more adjusted to the team. I feel like in his second year, knows the guys
Yeah.
now. Like I feel like people don't look into this like living in this area whole year now. He's used to everything, and now he's more comfortable. Again,
Yeah.
I think that the coaching staff kind of helped him out too. I think he kind of molded easier into their style than Gallant, because I think a big thing for this staff was win faceoffs, get possession, and I think that's kind of a strength is faceoffs. And I think he's second in the league to only I think Michael McLeod, but he's just been a very good player for this team. And I was a little skeptical with him as far as I wanted to kind of see one of the young guys get a chance on the power play, but I think just puck possession is such a huge thing for you get the puck into Fox's hands off that faceoff win, you're gonna score a lot of power play goals, and he just gets down there and he'll win like I don't know. I at this point it's like he must be in the low 60s for
Yeah,
faceoff
he's
percentage,
at 62.3% this season.
which is ridiculous.
And that's something they work on every day at practice too. He just again, more credit to this coaching staff. Every day they're working on faceoffs, but he's been so good. He's solid. I think last year he finished the season with he's got 36 points. That's right now third on the team. He finished last year with 64. He's well on his way to topping that. I think. Where do you think he finishes? Somewhere
He'll go in the
36,
70s.
70s. Yeah.
He'll be in the 70s. But I just want to say this too about him is that in the playoffs, you need to win faceoffs. He does that.
Yep.
You need grit. He does that. He can score. And he can play defense. He'll block shots. He'll kill penalties.
Yep.
I mean, I can't say enough good things about Trocheck. I mean, you got to have a lot of credit to Drury for bringing him in. I feel like, again, he's never going to be a superstar player, but he just brings so much to this team. And I believe he's only making less than $6 million. He's making maybe like 5.6, 5.7. Personally, I think that's a great contract.
Yeah. Yeah, no doubt. And he's already got a ton of playoff experience too, just from last year and even the year prior in Carolina, where they ran into him, obviously, in the playoffs in the Eastern Conference second round of 2021-2022 season. But yeah, he's well on his way to having a career year in points, does everything you want him to do in the playoffs, just like the perfect piece for this team, and has fit in. Like that line has just been so good with Panarin, him and Lafreniere. The Kreider goal that they scored, I didn't think that would go in. I didn't think that would count.
The goal.
I don't really know what's a kick these days. I mean, I don't think it was a kick. I didn't think
I don't think it was a kick, but like
I just still don't know what a kick is.
Kind of like forced it into the net. Like it wasn't a stink kicking motion, but whatever. I mean,
it's
sometimes you get those calls, sometimes you don't, I guess.
Oh, we've had plenty of calls this year called back on us.
Yeah, like Coley had a goal that was taken away, which should have been a goal, which a lot less of a kicking motion.
Yeah.
We'll take it.
And then,
did you think his reaction was kind of funny though? Like,
Kreider, I didn't think
he thought that like, oh, this is no way, this is a goal.
This counting. I didn't think it was going to count either.
I know.
I didn't see like a distinct kicking motion, but then again, I've seen worse get called, so I was like, yeah, this is going to get called back, but
especially because it's the Rangers, NHL hates the Rangers. The Rangers.
And the way the goalie reacted too, he was just like, he was
like, no way.
No.
Yeah.
And then after that, Blackwell, Rangers legend Colin Blackwell scored. That was a nice move. Nice pass. I mean, they broke out, got in transition, and Miller think it was Miller. He just seemed to he kind of got
I
lost
think
a
he
little
didn't
bit.
though. I think initially, like I thought it was his fault, but they were showing in the replay, like Joe Micheletti in the Rangers broadcast was saying that like he showed us where I think they said Gustafson kind of like took his time getting off the ice, and I guess Miller was waiting for him to get off so
Yeah,
he
it
could get
was.
on. And I
I
think
don't.
once he got on, they were already in the offensive zone, so he
Yeah,
had to skate back to catch up.
it was
But
a
I mean,
beautiful pass. I mean,
yeah, it was a great goal.
it's just a great, really nice play. But Rangers legend. And after that, they ended up taking the penalty, which I was a little worried. I was like, oh, here we go. But then they killed that off really well. And after that, all foot on the gas in the final period with the 2 goals from Truba and Veazey to finish things out. Cooley continues to play really well. We've already, we mentioned Othman, obviously. Now we move on here to some Kako stuff. I just have one quick question here before we get to Kako. I know Kako will come back, but let's say Othman continues to play well. Like, do you trust kind of the wings now, and maybe you look more towards a center at the deadline as opposed to like the wings, especially with Kako coming back?
My thing about that is Kako is a right winger, and then
Yeah.
Othman probably only going to be, at least for now, a left winger. But I kind of agree where it's like the uncertainty about Heedle is a little concerning. So I honestly, yeah, I think it would look for a. I think the priority should be a center, third line center, and then maybe
Mhm.
if they know he's coming back, which again, even if he comes back, I mean, again, this is third, fourth concussion. If he gets one more, he's done for the season. So I don't know what they think about their depth down the middle, at least scoring wise, because I think Benino and Gaudreau are pretty solid for their roles. But yeah, I think that they probably will end up going for a center. But I also don't think Othman will be on that team in the playoffs unless one or two guys get hurt. But what about this? Do you think Kako, when he comes back, where do you think they'll spot him in?
Like line,
Yeah,
I probably third. They'd probably right. I think they would probably just move. I mean, they could put him back up on the first. I mean, you could, I guess, put Wheeler at probably go third, yeah, because then you just bump VZ down. I don't know. I mean, Wheeler's been playing better, and
that
he's
is true. He has.
he's
I mean,
playing
those
better,
guys.
but I don't know. I mean,
I don't
maybe
know
they
how
put him
much
on
of
the
it
third.
is.
If he plays well, you bump him up.
I don't know how much it is of just Blake Wheeler, but Zibanejad obviously had a really good month.
Yeah,
Maybe the missing ingredient was Blake Wheeler.
Blake Wheeler.
He
Who
just
knew?
needed some
Team
time.
MVP Blake Wheeler. If it
Yeah, I mean,
wasn't for
maybe
Blake Wheeler, we wouldn't have Mika December.
Blake Wheeler scored an overtime goal in the playoffs this year.
Oh, that'll probably happen.
He'll do like the heartbreaker again on both knees.
Yeah, I would probably say Kako third.
Yeah,
I
I
mean, is
would.
it
I
crazy
mean,
to say like Wheeler plays the first line plays better with Wheeler,
I don't know. I feel like they didn't give
right?
Kako enough time. I kind of thought like
Yeah, I
he was
guess.
kind of snake bitten. Then he's playing not great. Then he moved him back, and I feel like what was kind of detrimental to that line was just how big of a difference. I mean, he'll never play it on that line, but when it was Trocheck, like that line, I thought it was pretty good. The third line, at least offensively. I mean, now they don't get any production unless it's like Coley making a play. I mean,
Yeah, I mean,
again,
Gaudreau.
Benino's a good player,
VZ
but
had the goal last night though, but VZ's
VC
usually
has
obviously
been more of a fourth line. I feel like this year,
yeah.
but VC has been really good. But I'm just saying in general is I think you really rely on your center to kind of drive the play and to create the offense because the center kind of starts the play from the defensive zone. Benino really hasn't done much offensively, but
No, I mean, neither is Gaudreau though.
yeah, but he's
I don't
fourth
know.
line. I think that's different though. The fourth line,
Gaudreau is just yeah. I don't know.
you're expecting grinding guys that play good defense, will put their body on the line to block shots. But I feel like at least for the third line, you got to expect some kind of offense. But
Yeah,
I think it'd be a little bit better, hopefully, when Kaka comes back. Maybe he's a little bit of an upgrade, hopefully, over Pazinski, but we'll see. But yeah, no, I agree though. I thought Gaudreau has not been good, especially for a guy making almost $4 million.
he has not been good. He's been like there. I'll be honest. Other than just with his fishbowl, there's times you don't even know he's out on the ice.
Yeah, I kind of agree. I don't even notice it. Then I see the fucking fishbowl.
Fishbowl.
Dude, the fishbowl is sick. I think they should
You
all
like
rock.
you like the fishbowl?
I rock the fishbowl, and when I
Dude,
play
I don't know.
hockey,
I'm
I use
Panarin
the
might have
metal.
to rock the fishbowl because he
I
got
use the
the
metal
cut.
cage, but If I was in the NHL, dude, I don't want to like fuck
You'd
up
want
my
to rock
face.
the
I don't
fishbowl?
want to mess up. Yeah, I think I'd rock. I think that'd be sick. I would have. Yeah,
Yeah,
wait,
I mean,
I'd have to be
it
good
would
though.
be cool. It'd be
I'd have to
cool
be
if
good.
everybody else was wearing a fishbowl.
I would have to be good though. I'm not going to be like a fourth line player, third line
Fourth
player.
line center wearing a fishbowl, just like Barkley Goodrow.
Maybe you could pull that off as a fourth line center. I feel like maybe in the middle six. You either got
That's
to be
literally
really good.
Barkley Goodrow. Well, he's
You either
third
got to
line.
be really good or really bad. Because if you're bad, people are like, oh, it's funny. And if you're good, like, oh, this guy's good. I respect that. But if you're like kind of in the middle, you're like, oh, this guy's
Yeah.
kind of a
It's
bitch with
like
the.
the goal. It's like Igor busts out like a fishbowl goalie's mask.
I don't even think they have that.
No, I don't think so. I just made
It'd
that up.
probably break. I think they'd like the whatever it is, metal would probably be way more safe. But that'd be sick though. Imagine Igor coming out with like the Jason mask. You ever think they'd bring those
Fishbowl.
back? Like the OG goalie mask?
Jeez.
How sick would that be if Igor came out one game with the
Like Game 7 of the Stanley Cup at home.
the goalie mask? The fishbowl, I mean, like,
I'm surprised Goodrow still got the fishbowl.
well, he like broke, like I think
Yeah,
something.
I thought they
Like,
said it was a
his
month
jaw.
though. Yeah, he's on liquids only, but I thought they said
That's
it was like a
crazy.
month, and it's. I mean, I know VZ's done with the fishbowl. He had it for about 2 weeks. Him and Goodrow were the fishbowl buddies.
Yeah, I missed that. I feel like
Yeah.
what's his face should have
All we
also
need.
wore it too.
Yeah,
Who's the
Cooley
third
should
guy on
have.
the line?
Cooley.
I thought no before that.
Or no, before it was
Oh, Pitlick.
Pitlick. Yeah,
Pitlick.
Pitlick.
Yeah, he should have.
I forgot
That's
about
kind
him
of
because
messed
he's
up.
hurt now.
That's kind of messed up though that he didn't wear the fishbowl. Like
He should have worried. We had
he should.
fourth line.
That
We would
been
have had three
that'd been
fishbowls.
sick. 3 guys on our fourth
A
line,
full
all rocking.
fishbowl line.
That'd be sick. They should redo that. When I mean, I don't think Pitlick's going to be on the team, or he'll be on the team, but he's not going to play during the playoffs. Granted, no one gets hurt, but fishbowl line would be sick. But regardless of that, yeah, no, Gaudreau has not been good.
Yeah.
Especially for the money he's making.
Yeah, he's not been. I know he jumps in front of shots and he'll do it in the playoffs, but at some point, he's just not existent at times. But like guys like Cooley have made up for him, and he's been really good, really good. I've been impressed.
Himmy. What about Himmy? Him VC.
Oh, VZ.
Yeah.
I like VZ a lot. He's been good. Definitely. VZ. I always say VZ's so much better this time around as a Ranger than he was his first time. Like he's scoring.
When you're a hot take here, I think he's more skilled than Kreider. At least like stick handling. I think he's a lot better with the puck than Kreider's horrible with the puck.
Yeah, Kreider's not good with the puck, but
he's good.
Kreider's still better by a lot.
It's just crazy though. Like
VZ's I mean, Kreider's not good. That's just not his game.
He's a good fourth line player, VC. I'm just telling you, like.
No, I like VZ a lot.
When they locked him up for an extra year, I was like, what are they doing? But like looking back at that, I think he can play the third line. I think
he might finish like 15 goals for the third line. He's got 8 already.
That's crazy. He 20?
20?
20 on the fourth line? He could. He needs 2 more goals in what is it? What did we say? 4 games, right?
He needs 2 more than that. He needs 2 goals in the next 4 games.
Dude, Timmy VC putting up 20.
20.
Watch out.
VZ's career high. He's definitely going to smash his career high, no doubt.
What is it?
He's got his career high in points, 35.
Was that with the Rangers?
Oh, yeah. 2018, 2019, he had 17 goals, 18 assists, 35 points. This year, he's got 8 goals, 4 assists. He did that 2018, 2019. He played every game. Does he get over 35 points this year? I don't
probably not.
No, he's probably going to be in the 25 range. He'll probably have
I was going to say
goals, 12 assists, maybe 27 points.
15-10, I'd say 25 maybe.
15. He had 25 last year.
I can't really see many fourth line players that are as good as Jimmy VC.
Yeah.
Or sorry, Himmy VC.
Himmy VC. You're right.
What a legend.
He's going to be a playoff legend. Himmy VZ. He's going to win the cup. We're going to take down. VZ's going to outplay Nathan McKinnon in Game 7. You watch.
He's going to go end-to-end.
Predicting it all.
Overtime. Dude, I mean, that was a missing piece all along. Himmy VC.
Himmy VZ. Who knew? Yeah, but he's been really good. Really good. VZ's on a Hart Trophy campaign.
Damn right.
We're spending time talking about Panarin Hart Trophy. We've forgotten about.
Yeah, I mean, he's good, Panarin, but is he Jimmy VC? How many games this year has he wore a fishbowl?
Fishbowl, none.
How many games this year has McDavid wore a fishbowl?
None. Gaudreau's better than David.
Well, yeah, I mean that's a given, but I'm saying like VC, fishbowl VC.
Fishbowl
That's like
VZ's
that's an
better
elite
than
player.
Fishbowl VZ's the next kid.
Fishbowl VC should be on our first line. That's like if he ever rips that out again, first line, way better than Blake Wheeler and his like.
Oh, dude, Wheeler.
You see
Wheeler could have an open net. He wouldn't even try it. He'd skate around and not take.
Did you see Wheeler's mouthpiece? That one game where he was like making that weird face when Zibanejad gave him that pass. It was maybe the whitest mouthpiece I've ever seen.
Gaudreau wears a really, or not Gaudreau, Wheeler. He wears like a really big mouthpiece.
It's like super white. I thought it was his teeth when I saw it at first. There's no way.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on Igor getting into the All-Star game?
It's so stupid. I'm sorry. I'm a big Rangers fan, obviously, big Igor guy, but no.
You don't think you should be in?
No, not even close. And the funny thing is, I was saying yesterday, I was talking to my dad.
I mean, he's having a kid, which is great, but he won't probably make the All-Star. I mean, he'll probably make it, but he won't be there.
You kind of find it funny though how like the last 2 years Igor again was good, but at least at the All-Star break time wasn't playing his best hockey, but he makes the All-Star game. And then 2 years ago, when he's got like a 940, doesn't make the All-Star game. I just think that's stupid.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on the All-Star game? Like, I think it's stupid where like they have to have a player from every team.
Yeah, every team. It's stupid.
Who the hell thinks? Like, don't get me wrong, Boo Jenner is a good player, but like,
Bruce Jenner or Boo Jenner. I mean, Boone Jenner, not Bruce. Boone Jenner, he might be a possible piece for the Rangers.
He's not better than he's not better than William Nylander. Nylander, it might not make the All-Star game, and Boone Jenner might.
He's not. But I'm just saying, like deadline, like Columbus is telling all. Boone Jenner could be a piece.
He's a scrappy guy. I'd take him. I think he's kind of like Kreider-esque. Good leader.
Good locker room guy, good like veteran piece.
He's the captain, I think, of the Blue Jackets, actually.
Yeah. He had that game, the second game of the season, I think he had.
Oh, yeah. He had didn't he have 3 or did he have 2?
He might have had a hat trick. That game was terrible because of the 2 goals that called back. But yeah, Igor's he's 19th in goals allowed per game, tied for 5th in win-loss, 20th in save percentage. Every team having an all-star, I
hate that.
Yeah, it's probably not very good, but
I think they want all the fan bases to be invested into the game, but I think that's stupid. I think if you want hockey to grow, you put the best. I think it's still 3-on-3, whatever it is, but you put the best 10 guys on each of the 4 teams or whatever they're doing this year. Like you get Crosby, you put McDavid, Matthews, McKinnon, get all the best players instead of having Boone Jenner, Frankie Vetrano, Rangers legend. I saw he's in the All-Star game. I might as well put Ryan Strome in the All-Star game, right?
Yeah. Yeah, some of these rebuilding teams, it's tough.
The Sharks don't deserve anybody in the All-Star game. I'm sorry.
No, I was just about to mention the Sharks. They don't. Sharks don't. Boone
Jenner doesn't deserve to be in the All-Star game. No,
definitely not Boone Jenner.
Put the best players in the All-Star game. That's if they want to, and it's entertaining. I mean, you can kind of get away with not really trying because in some of the other All-Star games, like baseball, obviously you have to try. Football, they just, but that was a joke when they had that. Yeah. But I feel like somewhat the hockey guys try. They don't check, but
I think they don't. I mean, they don't try 100%, but I think they. I mean, it's tough to. I feel like it's tough to not try, in a way in hockey.
Well, they can just not hit. That's what I'm saying. You're not going to go out of your way to lay someone out.
Yeah, they're high scoring. I mean, the goalies aren't going to lay out and try and make saves. They're kind of just there. It's more for the offense. Like you're not going to see a 1-0 game in an All-Star game.
Right now, I just thought of this. As Ranger fans, as a fan base, we should. Remember John Scott? How he got into the All-Star game?
Mm-hmm.
Let's petition Hemi VC, Fishbowl VC for the All-Star game.
Fishbowl VC.
What if we got VC into the All-Star game? That'd be so funny.
That would be great. I'd not have. It's gonna be a lot. It's gonna take a lot.
It's gonna happen. We're gonna get Hemi VC into the All-Star game.
Fishbowl VC.
Dude, we're getting them in. I'm going. When we're done shooting this, I'm going on Twitter. I'm getting everybody to vote for him.
Getting everybody to go on the Fishbowl VZ train.
Yeah, Fishbowl VC. He's getting, but he has to wear it though. If he doesn't wear it,
Fishbowl VZ.
So do like the hashtag NHL All-Star vote, and then just all pictures of VC and like the NHL when they post that like vote for your guy. I'm just gonna spam pictures on like the replies of just VC in the fishbowl.
Fishbowl VC.
We're getting that in. That's happening.
Fishbowl VC. Anyway, any other closing thoughts here on the fishbowl VZ conversation and the whole pod as a whole, or the pod as a whole?
I guess we can kind of finish it off with like Kako. Like, so we were gonna talk about him, and I think we completely sidetracked. But yeah,
Fishbowl
he's skating
VZ.
now with the
Yep.
team. I think he's got the red jersey still on. Practice today with an optional skate. I think Othman also skated. I think Jones, Quick, guys who like didn't play, but he's close. He's close. So we're getting guys back slowly.
Yeah.
Got Fox back. Real quick? What are your thoughts on Fox's play? Well, since he's come back.
It has been great. It has been very good. I mean, I thought he's had a couple bad turnovers. But he is coming back of an injury. He said yesterday in his post-game presser, this is his first very like long-term injury that he's had. I'm not too worried about it. He's too good to be for struggling this long. He still has had some nice plays. But I think at times the power play recently, and I know we're still top of the league, I still feel at times there's been some power plays that have been pretty bad. Carolina, obviously the power play was nowhere to be seen, and there was a couple times where we couldn't set up at all in the ozone. But Fox hasn't been. I don't think he's been struggling, but he might be like a step behind. I think decision making wise, he still might be a little slow. But I'm not panicking. I mean, it's Adam Fox. The guy's too good to struggle for a long period of time. Once the postseason comes around, I think he'll be all right. What about you?
Yeah, I mean, it's a little not concerning, but hopefully he's just not. Hopefully he's 100%. Maybe he's not 100%. Maybe kind of came back early.
Yeah,
maybe he's wearing like a knee brace or something where it kind of is
slows him
making
down.
him better. But I think the thing about him is him not playing great is still like top 10 in the league for defensemen. But
yeah, one of his first games back, I forget exactly who it was, but he just with like mentally and sometimes what he does with his stick handles and just his decision making, he made a guy like trip. I forget who it was. He like broke his ankles and he barely did anything.
Yeah.
I forget what it was. One of his first games back. So my point is like he's had some nice plays, he's had some nice moments. There's been some really nice, well executed power plays, but I think the biggest thing is that I feel like he's turning the puck over a lot at times, and he's not maybe getting back as fast or as normal as he usually does. And there's been maybe some odd man rushes because of it, but I'm not worried. I mean, he's still solid, and that's playing bad. I mean, he's the least of my worries right now.
Yeah,
in my opinion, but I think, like you said, he's still. What do you say? What, top 10 still?
I mean, even not playing great, yeah, he's easily.
Yeah,
I mean,
easily,
when he's
definitely.
healthy, he's probably the second best defenseman.
Mm-hmm.
But right now,
I'd rather him play like this now than the postseason. So
that's true too. I mean, he'll have a whole 3 or 4 months to kind of fully get.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, again, not many guys are 100% when the playoffs happen, but at least for his injury, you kind of hope that's kind of all good by that point, and he's kind of playing 100%.
I will say this for like one more thing just here on Kako. Yeah, this is, I feel like, the first time in his career that he's had maybe an opportunity to really kind of sit back and watch. And
2022, I think, too, when he broke his hand or hurt his wrist.
Yeah, was that?
And he was good after that, too. He came back and he played a good postseason.
Yeah, what was that? I think that was, he only played like 43 games that year, I think it was. Yeah, that is.
He missed like the whole second half. Yeah.
So, but I think he was pressing a little bit when he early in the season through his 20 games that he played. And he only had
contract year, too.
Yeah, contract year, and he was seeing Lafreniere playing well. I think before he got hurt, that was the Lafreniere game against Columbus he had, where he put, won it in the shootout, had the overtime, all that great stuff, like put in their overtime, all that great stuff. But I think he was pressing a little bit, and he was realizing, okay, this is a big year for me. Lafreniere's finding success. This new coaching staff is supposed to help me, and I'm not getting better. So I'm sort of optimistic. I'm not saying he's going to go on a tear, but I am optimistic that there is a good chance that Kaapo Kakko could come out here and play some really good hockey, like maybe some of his best hockey, if he sat back, kind of just took in. Maybe the system was a little confusing for him at first. If he kind of just sat back and watched it from a different angle, I think this is a really good opportunity. Like, this is his final push. Contract, this is his final push. In a way, this injury, I don't know if you feel the same way here, but do you feel maybe it could have been like a blessing in disguise for him where he was able to sit back? It seemed like he was pressing. There was a lot of pressure on him. He was struggling, all that stuff. A reset here might have been nice. I wouldn't be surprised to see Kako come back and maybe not right away because it's still going to have some rust, but could come back and play some really good hockey down the stretch.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like hopefully he kind of was able to sit back and kind of learn the system more, or just feel out the game more, where he's just sitting in the press box and just watching it. I think that kind of helps him. But I think hopefully he kind of did like a reset where you're kind of saying they kind of was pressured, especially seeing like Lafreniere succeed. But no, dude, I'm excited to see him in the second half. I think he could be a really big difference maker. Where I could see him having a big second half if he can get rolling and get confident.
Yeah.
Because he's such a weapon to have offensively. Because he's really good defensively, and then offensively, if he just gets into that groove where he's along the boards, making those like sharp cuts and just like bodying people in the corners, because he's so good with his edges, and I think that could be a huge thing for him. If he can eventually turn like just being aggressive and doing that amazing board work into like a secondary play where he starts finding guys, setting up assists, or just ripping shots. Because my biggest thing for him, it's kind of like Panarin, where he never shoots.
No.
You watch any of Kako's games, he's
a lot of
fading to the
too.
He's not in the play in the offensive zone other than if he's getting the puck. But if he can just learn that just to get more aggressive, I think he could have a big second half.
Yeah, I think a lot of that too is some of it could be confidence with the passing up shots, not shooting, being hesitant. And I hope that maybe over this break he builds up more confidence. I think his mindset's got to be, hey, look, I mean, he'll get picked up elsewhere if he doesn't come back, but his mindset's got to be like, hey, look, my back's against the wall here as a Ranger. They took me second overall. I've already got people have already put the bus label on me. Like, I've got to just go out there and play free. I got to go out there, shoot, put up numbers, put up points, and help this team. Very good on the defensive end. It's always been the offense. I mean, I think last year in 82 games he had 40 points. That's
a decent season, yeah, for a two-way player.
Yeah,
who doesn't like power play or like he wasn't really playing top six.
If he could finish, if he had 40 last year.
Was he at 3 right now or 4?
Right now he's
got 4. So can he get to 30?
30. If he gets to 30, I'd be happy about that. I mean, if he could get to 35 in significantly less games than last year, you definitely take that because that means he goes on a tear here.
Hoping for 30. Hopefully he gets. I was hoping he'd score 25 goals this year. I'm hoping for 50. Like if
I had so many high expectations for Kakko.
I mean, yeah, I was really high on him.
I thought he'd probably play better than Lafreniere.
That was my thinking because you didn't really know what Lafreniere was going to be on the right side because he was kind of learning a new position. But again, he's adjusted really well. So it's nice also to see like now he can definitely play both sides. I also think Kakko can play both sides too because he's a right wing lefty. It's much easier to play your strong side. So it's also a flexibility thing for Kakko too. But you just got to hope he comes out. Again, probably going to be a little rusty, but eventually he gets into a groove offensively.
Yeah. You know what? Just offensively, too. Like, I think if I remember correctly, last year he had a good month of December. I think there was a span of, I think it was like 6-7 games where he had like 5-6 goals.
They were all playing well, the kid line last year. When they got put together after like them struggling, at least the team. Once they got put together, there was a stretch where they were putting up like point a game when Hedl was red. You remember how hot Hedl was? Yeah. Where he was like scoring in bunches.
That was that was shortly after the Trouba throwing the helmet against the wall. That was all December.
And Hedl
against Chicago. Yeah, but that's like I still feel like Kakko hasn't had that like tear in his career where he just goes out there and he dominates. Like he's had maybe some stretches. And again, two-way player, he's not.
I just think he's too tentative. Like he doesn't.
Yeah, like he just needs to unleash. Just go out there and lose.
Yeah,
you've got nothing to lose. You can't get. I don't want to sound negative, but you can't get any worse. Maybe you've already missed a ton this season. You haven't quite. Fans haven't fully bought in. You weren't playing very well offensively prior to the injury, and now's your time. You got to take a leap. You got to take that next step. especially
I'm
if you want to go
I'm
elsewhere.
excited though. I've always been a
Yeah,
big Kako guy, so I'm excited to see him skating. I'm excited to see him come back. I like Kako. I hope he's good. I hope he's here for a
yeah,
long time.
yeah. No doubt, I agree. Definitely. So, any closing thoughts here before we finish things off here? Long episode, but a lot to talk about.
No, just again, just continue to play well, continue to get points, stay healthy, and hopefully we get Kako back soon and eventually Heedle down the line.
Yep, definitely. I have one more thing here. Fishbowl VZ vote.
Yeah,
Look at that.
vote vote for VC. Everybody vote for
Fishbowl
VC.
VZ on the screen.
Everybody's got to vote for Fishbowl VC for the All Star game.
Everybody's got to vote for fish. We should
He's
make that our background. Fishbowl VZ.
dude. VC, he's him.
Anyway, vote for Fishbowl VZ, and one more episodes coming your way. Rangers tomorrow in Montreal against the Canadiens. They'll look to get the 2 straight wins after last night's win over Chicago and get the 2 wins in the new year. We'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.